And this coming week, we mark what would have been the 88th birthday of slain civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King. I sat down with representatives of 3 community organizations involved to preview the Mass Mutual Center event that will be Springfield's official observance for Martin Luther King Day.
We have a collaboration that has taken place now over the past 5 years, beginning when I first came to the Martin Luther King Family Services with a vision to be able to do a citywide celebration that would really engage all the segments of our community to come together in one spirit of a day, a reflection on the legacy of Dr. King, and hopefully that people would leave there motivated, inspired, to do something different, to think a bit differently, to open their hearts as a way of creating a better community, but also making a better life for themselves as well.
Dr. Calvin Hill, Vice President for Inclusion and Community Engagement. That's got to be one of the greatest job titles ever at Springfield College. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're here with us just about 2 years now in this area from Minnesota. And you're the new guy on the committee, but not really. I mean, you've jumped right in and been real involved, but talk about that. You came in and you saw this going on and you said, Springfield College and I got to be part of this.
Absolutely. First and foremost, both Ron and Eileen were extremely gracious in terms of letting me get engaged. As you said, as the new kid in town, I was looking for partners. I was looking for individuals that, I could connect with on behalf of the college to engage. When you think about our mission, it is to educate students in leadership, mind, and body for service to others. And when you think about Dr. King, that is what this is all about. It's about leadership. It's about service. And as a college, if we can get people excited about the opportunity to serve, if we can get our students excited about leadership, and if we can work with our community to do that, we're hitting the ball out of the park. And as I think about my job, as I think about community engagement, there is no other organization or no other 2 organizations that I can think of that make sense for us to be a part of when we think about this celebration. When you look at what the Martin Luther King Family Services is doing, and when you look at what the community school is doing in terms of reaching out into our community, they have done what I think is yeoman's work, and we're just coming on board and participating to the best of our ability, and they have done a great job of allowing us to, tag on.
Eileen McCaffrey, Executive Director, Community Music School of Springfield. I'm going to ask you also to represent our good friend from the Dream Studio, Benjamin Smith, who, my apologies to Ben and to everybody, little scheduling mix-up mostly on my part. We weren't able to have him with us. And I'm so sorry about that because that man is such an amazing bundle of energy and sunshine. I just feel better for about 3 days after I talk to him. But Eileen, you and he have a lot to do with the performance end of this, and what an amazing list of things are going to go on. Young people are going to come in and perform. The community is coming together to perform.
That's right. Actually, it's amazing how that has also grown over the years, Jim. When we started 5 years ago, there were probably 150 to 200 young people involved in music, dance, spoken word that represented MLK Family Services, the Community Music School, Dream Studio. And over those 5 years, we have grown the engagement to the point where there are 16 Springfield public schools, elementary, middle, and high schools, who who are involved in a Sonido Musica program, which we built into the request for the grant through the Mass Cultural Council, that they participate in Dr. King Day. There will be somewhere between 700 and 800 young people who will be involved in this day. And if you think about it, playing the violin, doing dance, playing a band instrument. There's so many different ways, as Ron said, to create a better community, to work side by side. And it's really a thrill to see how the young people have embraced this event as a way to express back into the community all of these beautiful things that we know is true, but that when we get to see it and when we do it in a combined effort, it's remarkable.
I see that as community building, because certainly the young people at the Martin Luther King Center who have been engaged in the music workshops, the drama workshops, the drumming,
Yes,
workshops of
bucket
bucket drumming activities. There is an excitement, and they know they're going to be collaborating with their peers from across the city, and that they're going to be presenting in front of the mayor, in front of our state senators, our elected officials, and a diverse community of folks will see their artwork, see their efforts, and hopefully will hear their messages also.
Exactly. And to see the way that by coming together, we had a rehearsal, an open rehearsal for all the schools and all the kids, and they got to play with an orchestra, and they got to have little icebreakers where they met each other from all the different schools and the different community groups. That is what we're here to do, not just to have one event at the Mass Mutual Center, which is incredible, but to actually, as Ron said, create this whole approach to months and months of preparation in order to build this beloved community.
And Dr. Hill, I know this is the kind of thing that in a scenario where you have expertise working with youth in education, this is the kind of thing that a young person, it seems to me, really takes to heart and remembers how they prepared, how they were part of this great event that's much bigger than themselves or than a school play or something like that.
Absolutely. Well, I had an opportunity to see it last year for firsthand, and to see these young people come in, see their parents or their grandparents or their community members, dropping them off. There's a little fear at first, but when they walk on that stage, there's a great deal of excitement to see them playing, to see them drumming, to see them dancing. It is something that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. They're also going to be in the Mass Mutual Center, and that's a fairly large space for young people. When you think about a school stage, a gymatorium, as we call it at our child's school. This is a much larger space. So when we think about community building, our children are going to walk away from this experience knowing that, they performed for our city. Our mayor will be there. We'll have dignitaries from all over the community there. And that's something they're going to be able to walk away with. So it's going to stay with them. And I hope that as our young people are thinking about their impact, this is truly about making an impact. This is, as I shared last year, as we talk about, it's a day on, not a day off. And if our young people start thinking about that now, the sky's the limit for them.
I think our goal really is to be able to inspire the seeds of hope, of reconciliation, of fostering a community where there's more unity than disunity. And I think that in light of the current political atmosphere that we're in, that people are looking for ways to find vehicles, ways to access conversations with other folks. So, this year to be able to be in partnership with the folks from Healing Racism Institute. I think you know Valeska very well. She'll be on the program. We'll have a young person who was the winner of the Senator Edward Brooke Oratorical Competition who will be providing a speech as well, which is really central to the theme. That there will be spoken points as well as artistic points to be able to inspire individuals to take something back and to make their life somehow different and make our community different.
Believe it or not, all the time we have, but I know you got to get back and get work on planning. 2 hours, 11 to 1 on Martin Luther King Day itself. Mass Mutual Center, it's free, it's open to everybody, no charge, it's on the bus line, no excuse not to be part of this important community event. Thank you all for coming in and for what you're doing for the town.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.